Our firefighters were Jonathon Coco and Hunter Coco. Jonathon kind of jumped into things feet first, and just if it needed to be done, he was going to do it. And Hunter was quiet, but if you asked him to get it done, he was going to do it. And Taylor kind of brought all of them into the family of the firefighter fold. He's wanted to be a firefighter since he was knee high. He watched his daddy get involved with it, and from day one he was going to be a firefighter, and we went to wanting to be an ag teacher, back to being a firefighter. Hunter liked to tinker with cars, and if he could drive it, he was going to drive it, and the faster it went, the better he was. So there was a lot of times, you'd see him doing donuts or find out we did donuts, and that was our boys.
Taylor was, well, everybody called him Jonathon, but he was real big into computers and everything. So, he helped get the fire department kind of up to date. He was always into that stuff. So that and training. When he first got into that fire department, there really wasn't very many people there, and he got all these people to come in, and join. And Hunter, burnout 2.0, for sure.
That was fun.
When Jonathon started at that fire department, he's trying to be nice, but they were quite literally one bay with a little office, and now they've got a whole upstairs for the firefighters, rooms for them to stay in if they need them. They've got offices for all of their up top guys. Never seen somebody even become an assistant chief as fast as he did. 25 as an assistant chief. And he made that department truly what it is today. You ask the chief of the department, he'll tell you the same thing. He was the life and blood of that department. He gave us everything to it all day. And then when Hunter joined, he was thrilled. I think if everybody could have been a firefighter there, both of them would have been just through the moon, and they would have taken over the world at that department.
I think the main thing that made Jonathon unique was he was always super tech savvy and always took everything seriously, but he had a big comic side to it. He couldn't go a day without making fun of himself or making fun of someone else just to make everybody happier. And Hunter was pretty much the same way, but he was real quiet to the outside, always listened to music, never really talked too much. But whenever you really got to know him and you got under that shell, he was out everywhere.
I know one of the things that led Taylor or Jonathon to being a firefighter was when we were all little, we had a barn fire. We had 2 of them, and Maxwell responded to, the first one, I think, and they also came out, and he walked around with the now Maxwell Fire's chief, looking at hot spots after the fire was taken care of, making sure it wasn't going to relight, anything like that. That was one of the biggest things that he was like, I want to be a firefighter. And he went and he joined that department, and they asked him, when are you going to leave and be a paid firefighter? And he said, it's not home, it's not Maxwell. So from that day, meeting those Maxwell firefighters who helped us with our barn fire, he wanted to be a part of that department, and that's what led him to be a Maxwell firefighter.
The brotherhood was important to him. Taylor kind of was the mother hen of the fire department. He cooked, he fussed at him, you need to go clean, you need to go do this is how this gets done, and then here's supper. That was what Taylor did. Hunter just kind of, okay, yes sir, let's go, and follow through, do what you need to do. But it was important to him. It was very obvious how much, they meant to the fire department, how much the fire department cared for them too.
Most nights they were at the fire department. I lived in Mississippi for a little while, and every time I'd call them, any one of them, for anything, it was, what are you doing? I'm at the fire department. They were always there. They loved it there. If they weren't at work, they were at the fire department. Hunter wasn't taking care of his kid. He was at the fire department.
He was too.
Oh yeah, he'd bring kid over there, wife or
he would take
missus,
her over
they were there.
Let the baby visit with everybody.
Yeah, and most of the guys there, they walked in, there's Hunter and Taylor. There wasn't, no one there was shy. You go to that department, they were there every day making sure that place could be what it is. They loved all of their friends there. That's every time they were there, they had everybody there.
That
Every
was
time I
family.
came down to visit, there was videos. Look at this, look at this, look at this. We did this, we did this. You know, it was. They had videos from just the funny things they did at the department, playing pranks on each other. They were a family. You know, they did what we did at home.
I mean, whenever there was a new guy that would come into the fire department, Taylor would take him out. They would go have like a little fun night on the town, introduce him to everybody. Every once in a while, like every couple weekends or so, they would always go out and basically bond together as a group on a night on the square.
When they passed, I was sitting in the back of one of the trucks. They were taking us over to the memorial that they were doing, and there was a line of fire trucks that lined the road. I mean, miles. You looked out, you couldn't see the end of the line of fire trucks, paramedics, police officers that were there, just to support in the, driving to the memorial and the procession. Yeah, it was very breathtaking.
I think the procession was about 1.5 miles of just service vehicles.
Yeah, it was cool.
We couldn't even, I tried to take a picture of my phone and I couldn't see the end of it.
Yeah.
It stretched over the hills, and we'd gotten about like 5 miles, like a mile past the fire department, and the intersection to turn down to it is like 1.5 miles behind that, and you could see cars still pulling into it.
I would tell the Maxwell Fire Department, thank you. Thank you for the help and the support, and just being there for things we didn't even know we were going to need, anticipating stuff before we asked for it, and just for being so careful and caring.
Yeah, I would tell Maxwell, thank you for making everything that those boys could have wanted at their funeral happen. I mean, everything from the line of fire trucks to the helicopter, the forestry fire helicopter that flew over the memorial service while we were bringing them out. And to all the stuff that, honestly you didn't think was going to happen, from, just day-to-day issues that they were there for. Next day, as soon as I got home, we were upstairs in the fire department where they were saying, okay, this is the rundown, this is what's going to happen, this is how things are going to go, what do y'all want? And it was, they were just there for it all. Stood by our side.
What we heard about the boys, a lot came off of Facebook. It was easier for people to connect with us off of Facebook. Was just how helpful they were, how outgoing, how dependable, how much they loved them. What they did for us that day, we missed the laughs, we missed the smiles. We miss just getting to pick up the phone and call them, or walking into the office or into the job site and seeing them and saying, hey, what'd you do? What crazy things did you do this weekend that we need to know about? That's what we miss. We enjoy hearing the stories that people come up and tell us, sides that we don't know as parents or as siblings, even though I'm sure there's some that the kids can say that they've already heard. But
I think the families that told, us or even people at the department, they saved our home. And we are so thankful for them. They came in, and people who've come to like National Night Out where they raise money for the volunteer fire department, and Jonathon's there with a truck bringing kids up there, honking the horn, turning the sirens on. He was out in his community, he was out there. He helped them make videos, and people, they remember those videos because they're goofy. They're not just standard like at school fire videos. They're dressing up in costumes, and they're doing stuff that reaches out to the kids. And he's making these firefighters that you wouldn't think they would do stuff like that do it. And so people will tell you about how they appreciate that because their kids like that video more, or they have their
parade.
home. Yeah, the Christmas parade
that they decked out the fire trucks and the lights. He'd have the boys, you need to go collect the lights for the fire trucks. Here's how we're going to put them to this. They string up the lights and they'd go through the neighborhoods, and Santa would be on the fire truck, and Taylor had his Grinch costume that would follow along, and he would get the new recruits with the ones that had to wear the costumes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was it. If you were coming in, you were going to be the Easter Bunny this year, or you were going to be Paw Patrol, because that's National Night Out. It's got Paw Patrol there.
And I got saved from being the Dalmatian Marshal, because good thing we had another new recruit in there, because I was one of the first cadets at Maxwell. And Taylor was like, it made it feel like home. Like, I had people come up to me at the memorial, whenever we did caskets up front. I had people coming up to me telling me how they were heroes, and I had no idea who these people were. They would tell us how thankful they were for them to have come save them. Like Marcus had said, they were thankful that they had their homes saved, that they had their barns saved.
And Jonathon, his paid job was with the Buda Police Department as animal control officer. And one day he got a call to go to someone's house about some strays. It turned out to be Willie Nelson's daughter. And they became quite good friends. And when the boys passed, she has a podcast. When the boys passed, her daddy came on and sang Amazing Grace.
Dedicated it to him.
Here's our favorite moment.
Him catching the bird in the office.
Oh, that
That
video of him
yeah.
chasing the bird and
There was a
yeah.
video of Taylor whenever he was on the job at Buda Animal Control. He had to catch a bird outside of a library office, and they put that cartoon music of people running around to him, a sped up video of him trying to catch the bird, and it was like a 5-minute video.
At the end, yeah,
But it was put across as a
Newsreel.
newscast.
No animals were harmed in the making. The bird was a little exhausted but released.
and that Jonathon Coco was at home recovering from exhaustion for chasing the bird around.
Yeah,
That was
that's
funny
one or the
video.
recliner incident at the house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when Jonathon was
Fix-It.
younger, and you've seen Tom and Jerry, the cartoon, when Jerry screams
No, it was
whenever,
Tom,
or Tom
whenever,
screams when Jerry
like
hurts
he gets
him.
the rat trap squished on his tail.
Yeah,
like,
the real high-pitched scream. Well, Jonathon was fixing a recliner, trying to put one of the springs back on the big ones,
Finger.
holding it down with a wrench, and all of a sudden you hear the spring pop out of that I think it was, what was it, vice grips or channel locks or something.
Yeah.
Pops out, smacks him in the arm, and all you heard was him scream, and it sounded just like that. I mean,
we compared it a couple nights later,
yeah, we had a
and-
video of it.
and it was
We don't know where it is right now.
priceless.
Yeah.
We have, this is the first time we've been to any kind of event, but I've had a lot of correspondence, email with Miss Jenny, and they've just been totally helpful. It's amazing.
Yeah, walking in the doors.
Just from the emails. And then, yeah, coming here, everybody's just right on you. Hi, just so nice. All they want to do is help because they've been there and done that.
Yeah, as soon as walked in the door, they brought the little dog out. What's his name?
Sandy?
Sandy. And, what's her name? The dog's named after her son. And she comes up first thing. I don't know. I've never seen her before. She gives me a hug. She introduces herself, starts talking about the dog and how, named after her son, and, just kind of the backstory behind it, and just welcoming you in with open arms, making it feel like you're not here, you're at home, you're just,
It's just another day.
yeah, it's another day, and we're going to help you through it. And I mean, that makes it so much different than what you would think it would be coming in.
I think it'd be a little unfair to end it all without a couple of stories about Hunter, because all we did was talk about Taylor. Yeah, what
Taylor
about
was
two?
the outgoing child.
Hunter was quiet. He was starting to come out of his shell. He loved tinkering with vehicles.
Yes.
And he absolutely adored his daughter. And I can tell you a funny thing about Hunter. He would come over to the house last year to work on his truck, and we'd end up playing pool at the house all day. And his fiance would call, "Are you almost done?" "Yeah, I'm almost done. I just gotta put my tools up. I'll be home in just a little while." "Okay, love you, click." More pool.
And what about Burnout 2.0?
Yeah.
About that one?
I know, every time he knew that me and Marcus were coming, he made sure to bring Paisley to see us. Every time. We
Oh,
were
yeah.
telling we would be coming in, and he's like, okay, I'll make sure I bring her over so y'all can see her.
I'm gonna tell that Burnout 2.0 story.
Do you know
So-
the full story?
I know my side of the story because I was there.
Is that 2.0 or is that the donuts around the house?
No, that was right before 2.0. So I was. We have an old 2001 Excursion, still a diesel one.
Big old issue.
He was obsessed with diesel vehicles, and I remember him. I was sitting in the passenger seat with him while he was taking a video doing burnouts in our field, which he was able to get the dirt to make white smoke out of the tires. And after I'd gotten it, because we were just doing donuts in the side of the field, he was just screaming, hooping, and hollering, phone out the window, everything. And eventually I went inside, and good thing I did because I would have been caught in the video whenever he screamed it, his famous lines.
Burnout 2.0.
Don't forget the
So
word.
now we
Nope.
find out you were in the vehicle with him.
Oh no, not for that video.
But later,
that.
he got his phone taken, and that's how they found out about Burnout 2.0. They went through his phone, and they found videos of him hanging out the window, videoing the tires
I
spinning.
still
and,
have those videos.
and that car still sits on the back patio. The rear end's busted because of the burnouts. And
I couldn't figure out why I had flat tires. And that was the
Yeah.
reason why, was because Burnout 2.0 happened. And the next day my tires were flat. And I was like, how'd I flatten both tires?
and that started the pranks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The pranks, the
Oh, yeah.
practical jokers, Taylor's the older brother, so he's, rules the roost. This is what I say it, you do it. And the boys were like, no. And they decided one night they were going to go flatten a tire on his car. And he comes out there and he comes back in. He's like, I got a flat tire, Mom. What do I do? I said, well, air it up. And if it goes flat again, you need to go get it changed. And it went on for about 6 months. They'd go out and they started rotating tires. So he would take it to the dealership and, hey, my tires keeps going flat. Can you find out what's going on? There's nothing wrong with your tire. And then a couple days later, it'd be flat again. And if they finally came clean and told him that they had been flattening his tires for the past 6 months, random tires. And they would send him to the dealership and the dealership would just kind of laugh at him. But it was on after that.
And was it the glitter?
Yeah,
Put on?
so when Jonathan first got done with all of his probationary stuff for the fire department, and he had first gotten approved to put lights on his personal so that way he could drive on call, we got the bright idea to take these canisters of glitter and go out there and we put glitter all over his car. I mean everywhere, because static electricity on metal with plastic, it's gonna stick. And so sure enough, that night he gets toned out. He gets in the car, throws his light bar on top, lights up. As he's driving down, he hears a loud smack. Well, the light bar slid off the side of the car and was held on by the wires, just flashing on the side of the car. So he had to get out, wipe glitter off to put his light bar back on. And that's when he realized there was glitter on it. And so when he came home, he came in wondering who put glitter on the car. And we thought it was hilarious. And he didn't, because his, $500 light bar went off the side of the car. But things like that we did all the time, just to mess with him. Or when we all put, the little snap it fireworks, when we put them under the toilet seat, and Dad went and sat down on the toilet, and we all lined the hallway coming into the living room with more poppets, and we ran out the door, got in a tree, climbed up it and hid because we knew he was about to come down the hallway mad. And from outside you could hear him coming down the hallway, the pops on the snappets in the hallway that we left for him too.
Mom was giggling.
I love my kids.
Just not
I love
that.
my kids. I gotta tell myself all the time, I love my kids.
I mean, we ended up. He got so mad that he locked the doors and was like, "Y'all are gonna find a way in." And so we ended up crawling through a Hunter's bedroom window.
Yeah, we left it unlocked. We knew it was gonna happen.
We knew it. We were out there for a couple hours extra.
Just waiting.
I think it's hilarious. Y'all wait till y'all are on camera to start confessing everything.
Nah, we told you about this.
You knew about that.
You were there.
It happened to you.
It was one of where they did the firework under Taylor's car.
Oh,
we were
we were popping fireworks for, I think it was 4th of July.
Yeah.
And Taylor was driving a little Chevy Malibu, so it was maybe like that much room between the car and the ground. And one of the fireworks we were launching off ended up tipping over and shot directly underneath his car and blew up. Nothing happened to the car, surprisingly. It was just so, because they kept shooting because it was only like partially done. So they just kept shooting out. One hit the side of the car.
The one that went
blew
under
right
it
below it.
hit the side and then bounced down and flew under the car before it popped. And all you saw was this little car parked in a field, and then a big old firework, all the little fireballs that shoot out of it just right out from under the car.
You can just hear them all screaming, "Oh my God! Oh my God!"
But look, I'll tell you this, Taylor's instincts on, being a firefighter and first responder were on point, because he grabbed Riley. As soon as that firework laid over, he was holding her and running to get behind the car. So there we all are behind the car as it blows up out from under the car.
The car was fine.
Yes.
The car didn't blow up. It was just the fireworks. Let me clarify that. The car was not harmed.
The car remained perfectly fine. It was just a little big pop that scared us all.
And nobody got hurt, so,
Yeah.
Jonathan's smart aleck, zany, helpful. Hunter was sweet, very helpful. Like to use my tools and leave them around the house. But very loving.
Hunter and Taylor was fun to mess with, and I loved them and I missed them.
I would describe Hunter and Taylor as the unknown hero that you just didn't see. They were just there when you needed them.
I would describe Taylor as very tech savvy, and he was always joking. He always made you laugh. And then Hunter was very shy, and but when you got to know him, you knew he liked to work on cars, especially with his brother.
Jonathan was funny. He was brave, outgoing, very well spoken. All the time. And Hunter was shy, but he was also out there whenever he got to know you. He was a gearhead. Something broke on his car, he fixed it. All the time. And they were both just really brave. Heroes.
Taylor was confident. It was vulture, like he was always hovering around, so he kept his distance. But whenever there was something he needed to be helped with or something needed to be done, he would fly down and get it done. Hunter, he was kind of similar, but he'd stay separated. He was like more of a loner, but he wasn't lonely. He always surrounded himself with his friends. And like he was saying, he was very much a gearhead. He loved to work on anything that was mechanical or moved or made fire. So he went to a profession of putting it out.
Here's to you, with that smile on your face. Here's to you, and what I want to raise to this moment we share, to the love